Okay. So, I heard something weird, so I started to do a little digging on my own. And this is my 4th time in 2 days going back to perform the same search. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google, and we'll just start off by searching Curtis Yarvin. And of course the first thing you see, and this is actually already changed, the first thing we see is this New Yorker post, which used to come after his Twitter posts, but now it's been bumped up yet again. And they're all talking about pretty much the same thing: his plot against America, democracy is over, but it gets really weird. So we can see here he has been around for a while, but if we do a search for his name in quotes, which is looking for verbatim, then we come back in and we filter our search, and I've been using anything up to the point of January 1st, 2010, and we start getting some weird search results. So it starts off, just stuff he's been preaching for years. But the more we dig into it, the weirder it gets. So venture capital extremism. Again, things he's been talking about for years, but then we also get these other weird anomalies, I would say. So here's an article from 1977. So at this time, Curtis Yarvin would have been 4 years old? But it's from the New York Times, and that's a recurring theme. We notice Elon Musk consulted Curtis Yarvin, right-wing thinker, and this pops up over and over again. Oh, see here, right here's another one. And when we click on these articles, they have nothing to do with Curtis Yarvin, even though they may be in here somewhere. If we do a search and see if it even pops up, his name isn't even found on here. But what's weirder is we look at the results we get. Homosexuals to boycott citrus, okay, but then we see this photo. If we zoom in on the photo, terror, murder, and so on. If you prefer your terrors urban and decadent, goodbye will certainly raise the hairs on the back of your neck. WH, White House. And you may think, well, okay, that's one article, but they keep going on. Let's open up the Polish Film Festival, see if there's anything weird about this one. I can't remember. Oh, I can't see anything. Wonderful. I'm going to try to see if I can go in here and get access to the photo that was in there somehow. So let's go over to, I think it's sources, refresh. Oh, let's see if I can get it. Oh, okay, perfect, got it. Let's see if there's anything weird in this one. Mobsters. Light outdoor fair based on the novel, no. Let's see, we see this word mobsters. Delirious. City slickers. Thelma and Louise. So we just see a bunch of recurring themes that are all about, so far we've seen murder, people being delirious. Here's another one called, let's just see what this one's all about. This looks like an article, not even an article, maybe just quotes. A bunch of quotes, okay. See if anything is eyebrow raising here. After the oil is gone. And I'm not really reading into any of these. I just try to go through and look for things like this. The murderous fantasies of the comfortably bored. What? What? Why is this coming up? When was this article posted? May 28th, 2005. But yet it's coming up whenever I search for Curtis Yarvin. Here's one. This says 2001. Let's open this up. Then it's not even... It says 2024 now. I'm proud to be endorsed by the Wisconsin Fraternal Order of Police. Who was from Wisconsin? Tim Walz, maybe? Is he Miss Wisconsin? He was Minnesota. So this, again, so who you got? Elon Musk or J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, and Curtis Yarvin. This one, okay, January 2009. Category Blog Year American. Guessing that's French for American blogger. And then, let's see, is Curtis Yarvin in here? He is in here. Takes us to his... This isn't Wikipedia, this is wikipedia.org. Apparently French, I guess. So that's... We're just making our way through our results. Let's go to page 2. Okay, here we go. 1992 article in Shanghai, writing the cutting edge. It's from Washington Post. More than 32 years ago. And I can't get past, it's pay blocked, but let's start reading. I have to enter an email address. Well, there's my name, so I guess that's out there now. Start reading. Okay, it won't let me, won't even let me. But did we see what the title of that article was? In Shanghai, riding the cutting edge all the way to the top. But look. Again, Curtis Yarvin helped inspire Doge, now he scorns it. What does that have to do with this article? And why does it come up every time we search his name? Here's another one from Vox. See if there's anything of interest really quickly. And that just looks like a bunch of other articles. Oh. Look at this, Superman. Oh, well, I guess this could be up to date. But if this isn't up to date, look, 2006. That whenever I search for Curtis Yarvin before 2010, this comes up. Super mad about Superman. Who would be super mad about Superman? Maybe the Superman movie that just came out? But then why is this on something that's from 2006 if this came out in like June or July of 2025? That's pretty weird. Anything else? Elon's party in the USA. Trump's dark philosopher Curtis Yarvin. Okay, so that makes sense why it would come up if you're just searching for Curtis Yarvin, but we're not. We're searching pre-2010. I guess it'd be up to including the first day of 2010. Lord Conrad Black. You get a lot of YouTube results. This one has 5.2 thousand views, and it was posted 18 years ago.
Ladies, listen up.
Now, I'm not going to go into what it was all about. Oh, look at this. Authoritative fashion. Authoritative. This one, Project Allende, I don't know. This one pops up, again, 2007 it says, but it's talking about Tony Phillips on Curtis Yarvin's Mar-a-Lago plan. You click on it and it just says, just comes up with this, a day with the crazies. What? Who's crazy? Could it be Trump? Let's just keep on going. Tragedy of today's gays. Curtis Yarvin says democracy is done. Powerful conservatives are listening. And it just takes us to what? A video this time? No date. Okay, here's a date, 2006. June 21st. Then some Twitter post, John Dubbin. Let's see what's on here. It says he hasn't posted. But I think I might have found the post. Let's see what happens. No, just takes us to his link, to his profile. Here, this next one he was mentioned somewhere in this PDF. So that might be legitimate. Then we have a Vanity Fair post. New York Photo Fest descends upon Brooklyn for a second year. The barbarians are at the gates. Curtis Yarvin. And I think this might be one of his books that he had written, but why is it showing up? Okay, May 2009. Let's just do a quick, oh my gosh, everything is getting pay blocked. These were not like this the last time. Let's just keep moving forward, okay. This post, I don't believe, came up last time. This one says 1988, so Curtis Yarvin, I think it said he was born in 73, so he would have been 15 at the time of this article being put out. Florida executes killer, ending 14-year battle. Florida, Epstein Mar-a-Lago, 14-year battle? Who has been battling for the last 14 years? This one from wikipedia.org again. Judius Adius. Let's see what this is about. Let's see if any of these names ring a bell. Karl Marx. But why is this coming up? Where was it? March 2006. Why is this coming up here now? Hypermedia Magazine. This one I think is new. I don't know what that says because I don't speak that language. Spanish, okay. So it just takes us to the home page of this website. Is that what it was supposed to take us? Yeah. I'm gonna throw this. I'll go down, just pull up everything in the original language, go back, look at, see what English has to say. We feel like the world has forgotten us. Communism and cultural patriotism. Reconciling the right. Memories of Marx. Remember, Marx was just right here. And I did not know this before going into it and recording it. But you can see how weird it is. Let's just keep on moving forward. Another post on X. I'm going to take out those last two tabs. No posts. Replies, can't look it up. Inglorious Bastards panel at the Jewish Theological something or another. You'll see a lot of recurring themes about Jews and Zionists. Now, here's another one from X. Pull it up, nothing. Interesting. Tony Phillips on his plan again. Again, taking us back to the Project Alend. Loading. It's taking a while to load. Another thing I noticed, I think this was one of them. These archives for this website stopped in May of 2025. Now there was a couple other websites that also had archives up that also stopped in May of 2025. Here we go, the Anarchist Library. Go in here, this one is a list of topics, so I'm guessing probably a list of tags. We'll scroll down, try to find Curtis. This would be better if I knew my ABCs. Okay, C-U-R, there we go. Curtis. Let's just also look what's around Curtis. Cultural resistance, culture industry, culture of resistance, current events, current relevance, cyberfeminism, cybernetics, cyberpunk, cybersecurity, cyborg, that one's probably not. But then, again, we're looking, it says this page is from 2009. Click here, we do the search, and here's some new posts from 2025. Talking about Musk doing a Nazi salute, yeah. Exit and voice. Talking about mainstream right libertarianism. Charter cities. Talk about Curtis Yarvin. I'm going to keep that up. Harvard Kennedy School. Curtis Yarvin versus Professor Danielle Allen. Democracy Debate. China Summer, 2002. There's Daniel Allen. So this must be referring directly to this video right here. Talking about China. Who likes China? I'm just scrolling through. If anybody wants to pause and read these articles, go ahead. Peter Thiel, another recurring theme. This Vanity Fair article by James Pogue on Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, and J.D. Vance is one of the most informative pieces on the new right I've ever read. May 15th, 2009 it says, but it's just literally the search results from X with the hashtag Thiel. Vanity Fair. Cultures Collide. We're only on page 3 and this just keeps going. Arco-Tyranny, USA, 94. Here's the Cultures Collide. And I don't think that a lot of these articles, necessarily mean anything. I think it's just these words that keep popping up. Arco-Tyranny, super weird. Then we see something about B. Sanders. Do we know any other people named B. Sanders out there that are against billionaires? Maybe somebody that's like a democratic socialist. I'm just gonna scroll on. This is one of the longer ones. Indeed, the government response to crime is by far the best illusion of arco-tyranny. On the one hand, police forces are better equipped, better trained, and more expensive than ever before in history. Police routinely use computers, have access to nationwide information banks, and carry weapons and communication gadgets that most tyrants of the past would drool over. Yet the police seem utterly baffled by the murder rate. None of their high-tech whiz-bang helps much to catch serious criminals after they have struck, to stop them before they strike, or to keep them off of the streets after they are caught. But while the police cannot do much about the murderers, rapists, and robbers, they are geniuses at nabbing the less serious lawbreakers. They can crack down on tax dodgers, speeders, jaywalkers, pornography patrons, seatbelt non-bucklers, and I don't know this word, epithetimer's, whatever, gun owners and graffiti scratchers. So basically people that, yes, they're breaking the law, but they're not murdering people. So I'm just going to scroll through in case this gets taken down. Oh, here's a nice word. I'm just going to go down, so if anybody wants to pause this and actually read more into it, I'm just trying to be as brief as I can, and we're already at 20 minutes. And we have all these pingbacks. I don't really know what pingback means, but scroll through this as well. Oh, there we go. President Biden. That's where that would come up. Dark Enlightenment. This again is another link that I haven't seen in my past. You don't have authorization to view this. Why? Why would it come up? This hasn't come up before. Now it's coming up, but it's not giving me access. Book 4 of the Dark Pilgrim series. Okay, Barbara Kellerman on followership. Jumpers. I bet Elon Musk and Curtis Yarvin are going to come up with a political party that is super popular with ordinary people and not at all off-putting or weird. This says 2005. Let's click on it and see what happens. So again, now it's taking us directly back to these current events involving Trump. Marching forward, Project Nemesis. There we go, there's our boy Curtis. Look, axis of evil, pushing the Bush administration to war, an end to evil, how to win the war on terror. Zionist, that word is definitely recurring. Axis of ego, 2003. Eyebrows were raised in Washington. And you can argue, yes, these are like very big terms that are always in the news over the years, but we're not looking up like news over the years, we're looking up specifically Curtis Yarvin verbatim before 2010. eugenics. Now this. I've been on this link before, it's different now. This is not how it looked last time I was on here. This page is legacy content. Maybe it was a different link I was on last time, but I'm pretty sure this was it. This is totally different. This is pretty much just all text. Last time I was on here, yeah, and there was Curtis Yarvin, and yep, the low latency protection, and some of these other ones like this guy, you could actually click on and like see the workings of the person. And when I clicked on Curtis's, it said that the page was not found. And now it seems like this page is completely different than the last time I was on here. Completely different. End of America. Getting this blue sky. This is their hero, by the way. Image of racist freak Curtis Yarvin, the thinker who billionaires love. And again, this is September 15th, 2005. Why are these coming up? I mean, there was one link that came up that was from Threads, I think. Threads wasn't even around in 2005. Mark Andreessen, this name you'll see a bunch. Right alongside Curtis Yarvin. These are wiki quotes. So this guy's a billionaire programmer. Right, he co-founded Netscape. So like these things seem pretty normal, right? Windows, software, and then it says attributed. I'm glad there's Oxycontin and video games to keep those people quiet. Talking about people living in rural America? Who the fuck voted Trump in? The American Prospect. April 24th, 2024. I'm just scrolling through so I have record of what these articles say. See also Curtis Yarvin. Continue. What page are we on? We're running on page 5. So here's this one. Abe Books, Curtis Yarvin, Germania. New translation and commentary. Independently published. Is this something Yarvin wrote? I think so. But if we go back, pervert. Do we see the word pervert in here? Okay, there it is. What about Yarvin? Where is it? Says it's in here. Gray mirror. This specific ISBN edition is currently not available. There's one for $60. Louis Smalls Crimes, Curtis Yarvin, July 13th, 2000. This is the TikTok link that's taking us back to the year 2000. I don't think that sounds right. Who are they following? Can't look. Can we find Yarvin on here? No, nowhere. Inglorious Bastards, a diplomat couldn't negotiate a better deal. The American Foreign Service Association. This takes us to the Foreign Service Journal, 1988. So again, Yarvin would have been 15, maybe 16, 14, I don't know. The only thing that matters is he shouldn't be in this article. There it is. Hope Rogers Pestic Memorial Scholarship, Johns Hopkins University. Norman Yarvin, Ernst V. Syracuse Scholarship, Johns Hopkins University. Posts on Instagram, Wikimond. Just talking about him. This is his AKA alias name. Cameron Kent's new novel, The Road to Devotion. 350 views.
Limo at your service.
From December 14th, 2009, Cameron Kent talks about his third novel, The Road to Devotion. Again, most of this I think is like meaningless. Comments are turned off. That's suspicious. Here we go, Ruined Chapel. What's this one about? Charity Addiction and Maximizing Total Surplus from 2009. An interesting blog post from one of my favorite bloggers. Jay Leno dislikes the free market. Interesting. The Enemy, an intellectual portrait of Carl Schmitt. This takes us to an Amazon link again. 2003, I'm searching for pre-2010. Is Yarvin mentioned on this one? No, his name isn't even here. Curtis Yarvin. But when we come over here and we're searching the literal page for Curtis Yarvin, we can't even find anything. Then we get a bunch from Stack Overflow, And it's always, what evidence would academics give to discredit Curtis Yarvin and the neo-reactionary movement? A fraud among the rest of them. Short-circuiting operator? Donald Trump? Here's one. This one's in German. I'm just gonna, whatever. Just go through. If anybody wants to read this before I translate. Communists. And again, I'm just trying as quickly as possible to go through these and look for keywords that are just recurring themes. Aha, here's the eugenics one again. Maybe this was the link that I thought of. Yes, this was it. This was earlier we went to and I said that I was on. Yeah, so Curtis Yarvin, best student paper, anonymous, RPC, low latency protection in a 64-bit address space. Now let's just look at the article right above it. Robert J. Hall, call path profiling of monotonic program resources. I don't know what the fuck that means. Let's just open it in a new tab. Not found. This one is not found. Let's go to the one below. There we go. So there are some in here that are able. Okay, look, this one's the full deal. You click on Curtis Yarvin, 404 not found. Meet author Jessamine Conrad. A non-partisan guide to political issues, the paradox of choice in media, the Colorado experiment, blogs. And this has less than 2,000 views, posted 16 years ago. Here's one from a super user, which again, I don't know why we keep getting these recurring websites about tech and coding and programming. MySQL replication using DRBD, distributed log manager, talking about Curtis Yarvin. Slave. Between the cracks from squatting to tactical media art. This one, right there, it says 2019, but it's popping up in our search for pre-2010. I wonder if Yarvin's mentioned in here. It probably is. Okay. 21st century manifestation of the right-wing side of the debate is Nick Land. I'm going to save his name. Nick Land and Curtis Yarvin's anti-democratic, libertarian, dark enlightenment or neo-reactionary movement. In brief, these philosophical outlooks reject most of the core Enlightenment ideals and propose either a return to older forms of government like monarchy or rule by elites, or some form of anarchic self-governance. As Nick Land writes, as the democratic virus burns through society, painstakingly accumulated habits and attitudes of forward-thinking, prudential, human, and industrial investment are replaced by sterile, orgiastic consumerism, not sure what that word means, financial incontinence, and reality television political circus. Democracy consumes progress. When perceived from the perspective of the Dark Enlightenment, the appropriate mode of analysis for studying the democratic phenomenon is general parasitology. An early manifestation of this postmodernist endgame might be found in the punk anarchism of the late 70s and early 80s, the squatters movement, newspaper bluff, recognizing a right-wing tendency, and I'm going to call him Dr. R, denounced them as right-wingers disguised as leftists. And then just so let's keep Nick Land over here, philosopher, it says. Let's go to page 7. Okay, text files. Continue. Okay, looks like just a group, list of text files, I guess. I just saw fuck you, swamp rat. Who just said that they were going to drain the swamp? How to break the law by Anonymous. Big Bird. Like Big Bird. Who just cut funding to PBS. I'm just scrolling through these, and there's record of the whole website. Frack magazine. Does anything about fracking sound familiar? What is this? Caller ID technical details by Hyperborean Menace. Oh my god. You must be Nazis. Who's been called Nazis? The Project. Reminder from the innovator's dilemma: markets change whether you like it or not. There's another one, Stack Overflow. What? You can remove the master. Why does it sometimes take long? Windows services take the most of shutdown time. Maple Story. Why is it taking me to this? 80 views. Posts and there's 7. right aligning. And then it's just like software stuff, programming stuff. Deckert, speaks truth. You're a criminal either way. I saw the latest comic last night, thinking it was amusing, but I've never been this deluged with submissions from people saying that we absolutely need to post here either way. It does make the universe a point. You shouldn't buy anything that includes DRM. Since any change, DRM means you'll probably need to break the law to actually keep using the content you thought you bought. People realize they're going to be considered a criminal either way and just vote to pirate stuff in the first place. Now, that's funny. Then here we go, Trump's immigration. Free the criminals, jail the innocent. But back to this. It's crazy because the big thing in the news the last couple of days has been the FBI obviously doing nothing with the Epstein files, but they have been cracking down on gamers that are illegally downloading games. A couple more YouTubes. Look into Curtis Yarvin's Dark Enlightenment and the billionaires who have spoken of this and are building it into the system now. No kings, taco. Should libertarianism be cultural leftism without the state? Curtis Yarvin's plot against America, Palantir ascending, surveillance was the warming up, mental illness, and anarchism. A lot of people think these MAGA people are in a cult, meaning you're brainwashed. Let's go to attack the system. And I'm not reading any of this, I'm just looking for keywords, but scrolling through the whole thing. Just racism, looking for keywords. Again, talking about gay people a lot. Remember the first couple articles we saw were about gay people. Environmentalists, labor unions. Gay liberation. So the most relevant future political question for libertarians will be, how do we go about combating the totalitarian humanist state? You have a list of sources. The rebellion in Los Angeles. Again, recently in Los Angeles there has been some rebellion. From who? From ICE. And we're on 49 minutes and like, oh my gosh. Okay, Cupid. Okay, something awful forums. Oh yeah, that guy's dumbass name is Curtis Yarvin, LOL. And a post from, it says January 1st, 08. I'm gonna have to start. And then this is the last post on the whole page from 2011. Tonka dill pickle. Noma delete, whatever. My entire life is a lie, and my profile reflects that. Cunt the Great. Fucking lying females, you know? Which again, that wouldn't be weird if we were just randomly on random pages, but these are directly. This permaband thing is interesting. Lunatic Creep Master. We end with weird Final Fantasy 9 playthrough. Fox News. I think there's been something recently. Look at this. Bitcoin, Limits of Democracy with Curtis Yarvin. But why is it the Final Fantasy link that's coming up and not the Curtis Yarvin one? Shiny toy guns. Kingdom Hearts original soundtrack complete. What's this all about? I mean, these are videos that are old and they're coming up now. 1,000 words. Who does that sound like? Who would rant on? David Simon on the end of the American Empire. Curtis Yarvin on the end of American democracy. Meet Curtis Yarvin, the anti-democracy blogger calling for the U.S. monarchy. Me quitting RuneScape. 820 views. No one's posting on this? No one's saying anything? Suicide underground gig in Glasgow. 60 views. 66 views. No comments. Rehab Pool Party 2012. Stevie Wonder. So this was the results this time. I wish I would have found. There's actually quite a few links that aren't showing up that used to. And I have the screen recordings to prove that. The First Republic was a congressional regime which illegally abolished the British colonial governments. The Second Republic was constitutional, which illegally abolished the Articles of Confederation. The third, the Unionist regime, which illegally abolished the principle of federalism. The fourth is the New Deal, which illegally abolished the principle of limited government. Curtis Yarvin. So what is the fifth? In other words, our so-called democracy is dependent not on the wisdom of the people, but on the internal power politics of the official church. If these politics produce a political platform that translates to responsible and effective actions, the government will be good. If they don't, it will suck. Either way, we have consigned the state to an unaccountable conclave of bishops. This is why this is an improvement on monarchy or any other form of autocracy is unclear. This political architecture and abortion by any standard is commonly known as theocracy. Oddly enough, the classic historical case of theocracy is, wait, hang on, I'm forgetting, oh yes, right here in North America, under those strange people we call the Puritans. So I don't know, you can do your own deep dive into this. I just put Curtis Yarvin in quotes, change these put in a custom range, and go from there. And again, it said there was about 1,800 results, but we couldn't even make it to page 10. And from that, it says that there was 85 that were relevant and omitted. But these are mostly similar or the same links as last time. Some differences, equally as weird.